Steve, let's head down to Gainesville and talk some Florida Gator recruiting. Billy Napier and his staff, they had some commits and targets on campus, and it seemed like they are fired up over UF's win over Texas. Let's start by talking about running back Carson Baker, because I think this visit might have saved his recruitment, meaning he was supposed to show up in Tallahassee. At least the FSU staff was expecting him there, but instead Carson Baker, he's committed to Florida, shows up at the Swamp on Saturday to watch that win, and you got to hear what he said afterward. It sounds like he's locked into the Florida Gators.
Well, nobody, as we said on the Recruit Reaction show, nobody wanted Florida to win more, with the exception of the players and coaches and people that work inside that football facility, than the recruits. I mean, They love Florida. They love Coach Napier and the staff. They believe in him. They want to play for him. They want to play in these kind of games inside the Swamp, and they want to help bring Florida back to prominence. And so these recruits are sticking with the Gators for the most part, and Carson Baker's one of them, and him coming to campus instead of going to Florida State is obviously big if you're Florida, for him to witness that, get around the coaching staff, see the potential of the program. This is a talented football team that had some young players that made a huge impact in this ball game, but Florida's going to have to keep it rolling. This is a week-to-week thing for the Gators. They know that down there in Gainesville. We certainly know that. But these recruits, they're going to continue, as CJ Hester said, 4-star corner from Cocoa, who visited Missouri 2 weekends ago. I'm going to keep supporting them. I mean, they want Florida to win. Caden Hall, who was at Florida State instead of Florida, he wants Florida to win. He wants to stick with the Gators. Billy Napier and his staff do as good a job as any in this country of building real relationships with their top targets. We know that Florida can win in modern recruiting, so some of these guys are also getting exciting opportunities off the field to play for Florida, and they believe in the trajectory of this program and think that they can win at a high level. Now they just have to go out there and do it. But if Florida cannot build on this win, cannot get things rolling in October and November, it's going to be open season on this recruiting class. Now, with that being said, we expect Florida, if they did change nameplates on the quarter office, it would be a prominent name. And so we'll see if these guys love Florida and then play for Billy Napier is also exciting added bonus, or if, the crows or whatever that are swarming, are going to be able to come down and eat.
Yeah, the vultures were definitely circling prior to this week, but it almost feels like this is the beginning of the annual turnaround for Billy Napier and UF. Just when his obituaries have been written but not published, Billy Napier seems to do this. He did it last year. We saw the offense start to click. Hey, maybe we see the offense start to click again. And for a guy like a Carson Baker or a Caden Hall to see these things start to click, like you said, they committed to UF for a reason. They wanted to go to Gainesville. They wanted to play for Billy Napier. They don't want to go and have all this upheaval. So we'll see what happens. We got to wait and see. But, I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's the beginning of a turnaround?
Well, consistency's been the issue with Florida every year of the Billy Napier era. In Gainesville, they've had a huge home win, and we even talked about that leading into the ball game. So we thought that Florida had a good chance to beat the Texas Longhorns in this one, and then they went out and did it. And so now it's about bottling it up and keeping it rolling. The schedule certainly doesn't get any easier. They got to go play at night at Texas A&M this weekend. That's one of the toughest places to play in the country at night. Now, we know Florida will battle. Their defense has played well all year. The offense didn't show up at LSU. And maybe you put that on the play calling with the 5 interceptions, the amount of times they dropped back in that ball game. But I'm just saying they need to find some consistency. And if they do, they're going to have a great chance to get off and running at the quarterback position in 2027. Yeah. Elijah Haven and his family were on campus. Rivals Industries' #1 ranked quarterback. He's already trending towards Florida on the Rivals prediction machine. They didn't know what to expect going into this visit. They knew they had a lot of love for Florida and very close with that coaching staff. So really rooting for Coach O'Hara, Coach Napier, all the people they know in that building. They walked into the Swamp. And the people inside the Swamp are not the people on our Florida message board. These guys were actually supporting the team, wanted them to win. Stadium was going nuts. And the Havens loved that environment, loved the way that the roster responded to this coaching staff, the resiliency, the culture that's in place with the Florida program is not the problem. It's consistently playing well on Saturday. The guys come out of the tunnel looking to play hard, and some teams quit. Florida hasn't quit, which obviously they didn't quit because they came out and beat Texas. But that stood out to the Haven family, just how these kids came out and played hard together. Certainly seeing DJ Lagway develop. It's been a little up and down this year, but you see the potential. Elijah Haven and his family see tremendous opportunity at Florida. The Gators just have to play better. Same with Champ Mods, 2028 quarterback, our number one ranked quarterback at Rivals in 2028. Had a great visit with him and his family. They already know so many people on the Florida staff. Isaiah Broughton, a 2026 defensive lineman that could flip to the Gators. He said Florida just needed a reset, and in his opinion, they got that over the week and came out and beat Texas, and he had a fantastic experience. So if Florida plays well, they'll retain a lot of their class. They'll be able to flip a couple guys, and then they're set up to have a great 2027 class, starting with a guy like Elijah Haven.
Yeah. I can understand the optimism from recruits, while at the same time, I can also understand the frustration from fans. I think those two things can be happening at the same time. So let's talk to these Gator fans. Get in the comments section. How are you guys feeling about this program? Which direction is it headed?
The diehards are ready to move on unless Billy Napier proves them wrong.